background and what you do.
What do I do?
Yeah, what exactly do you do?
What exactly do I do?
Yeah, just the people there.
I'm not sure what I do. When you get your name, it really ties you to who you belong to. It ties you to your family. And it ties you to exactly where your family comes from. That's really what your name does for you. You belong to Musqueam. See, when you take a name and when you grow up in this area, you actually belong to Musqueam. You don't own Musqueam. Musqueam owns you. And that's how it comes out in your names. And a lot of our young people don't understand that. I wanted a different name. Like my grandfather's name, because I really had pride in my grandfather for what he was able to do and the things he accomplished in his life, and all of that without formal European education. So he couldn't read or write English.
Yeah.
So, but he followed all of his traditions and carried on what I think was an exemplary life as a Musqueam person.
Our elders, like, we had a lot of really good elders, and they were really strong, and they were the ones that taught us who we are, how we should be, and the way we should grow up, and then they were really strict, and you know, they brought us up so that we would know who we are as Musqueam, and a lot of, like say, our elders now, a lot of them are gone, or anything, but you're really brought up really strict, you know, and then after a while it pays off, you know, you listen and you learn a lot about it, and you learn from them and what they taught you, and this gives you your pride, and knowing them from the past gives you the future that they kind of led you up to, and I always respected that, and that's what gives me, like, proud to be Musqueam, and it's because of them.
I would have to say strong. Strong's a good word. Strong. We have many leaders within our community, but once they get together and work together, I believe that we could further ourselves economically and spiritually, and our visions would come together greater if the stronger people within our community would take the lead role and take the people along with them. I think people should learn about us as individuals, being individuals within the Musqueam setting, as our family gatherings, our culture beliefs, the language that we're trying to instill back into our community. Within our community, our people are generous within the giving of their hearts, their homes. There is a lot of kindness within the community. When there's a need, our people do help.
Yeah. So if you were to pick an animal or being to represent Musqueam, what would it be?
Well, me, myself, being a warrior, I would have to say it would have to be the warrior himself, who is the Kaya Polano, who was the warrior, who was a supernatural being that was able to take care of our people in our village, as the story goes.
The Kaya Polano, in our history, is the ancient warrior that went up into the Cape Much area, the Lake Hotoch area, and took revenge on those people for coming down here and trying to, I'm not sure whether they were down here to take women and other assets, but they came down and almost annihilated the warrior group down here, and Cleveland went up to Lake Hotoch territory and almost annihilated a village up there, seeking revenge. So that's why that name Cleveland is quite important.
What are your core values, would you say?
Well, one of my most values was our native language, but we got that taken away back in the boarding school days, and when I used to live with my my grandfather and my mother up there, and before Shaughnessy was there, they used to talk fluent Indian all the time. We were just starting to learn, eh? But when we went sent to boarding schools, we lost all that, eh? So our native tongue is one of our most important values. And then there's our canoe racing, you know. That I was very heavy into that because I started that when I was 12 years old, canoe pulling, and I pulled right till I was about 30 years old. I stayed there till 30 years old. We started off coming in last, and then next thing you know, this is ball man for the Seven Sisters, and by that time we were first place, eh?
You guys win it?
We used to win it. We held the cups for a long time, eh? Really long time. Over the island, all over the place.
Do I support the use of Musqueam language? I very much do. But I have learnt some words, not many. Some of the dirty words come to mind. Learned those.
Yeah, I support it fully in the sense that as long as we are credited with it, with the origin of the words, and acknowledged for who we are.
My brother, very proud of my brother, who is Henry, who has gone and visited many elders before they had passed on, and they have taught him the language, or continue to teach him, those that we have left. It's part of who we are. It's part of our teachings. It's part of our culture.
What one thing do you think is especially unique about Musqueam Nation that's different from other First Nations or communities?
Different?
Different, unique,
Where we live?
Yeah.
In the heart of the city, and nobody knows this place is even here?
Yeah.
So, you mean there's a reserve down there in Vancouver?
Yeah.
How could there be a reserve? Well, we live right on the Fraser River, and it's been here for years, you know, like since day one. And like, you would come down here, you'd never think there was a reserve here, eh? And here we are, right here today, and we've been here since, like I said, day one.
And this is where this uniqueness of Musqueam comes in, because we are the only people left that use and teach copperMoon. Even though our language went from here all the way up to Fort Langley and across into Burrard Inlet and down into probably Boundary Bay, we're the only ones left that actually speak it. Everyone else has either gone into Hulkamelam or Hulkaminam. So this is something that we're teaching here.
I'm running out of breath.